Oregon was the first state in the union to pass a law for assisted suicide. I remember it well because I was on the air and living in Oregon at the time when that happened, and doing a local show here as well as my national show. Actually, I'm wrong. It was enacted in 1997, and I was not doing a show here. I just looked it up here. I guess, well, in any case, we were doing shows about it back in 2005 when we moved out here. But Oregon's first in the nation law allows terminally ill people who have less than 6 months to live to end their lives voluntarily by taking a lethal medication. You have to jump through a whole bunch of hoops. You have to make 2 different, separate verbal requests to your doctor. Those requests must be at least 15 days, 2 weeks apart. And you must submit a written request that must be signed in the presence of 2 other witnesses. The attending physician and the consulting physician must confirm the patient's diagnosis and prognosis and determine whether the patient is capable of making healthcare decisions. If either doctor believes the patient is suffering from depression or another mental disorder, they can refer the patient for a psychological exam. I'm reading from AP News, a piece by Gene Johnson. Here in Oregon, a little over 2,000 people have taken this option to, kind of speed their departure. Similar laws have now been passed and taken effect in California, Colorado, Maine, Hawaii, New Jersey, New Mexico, Vermont, Washington State, and Washington, D.C. And I'm telling you, if I was dying and I was in excruciating pain and my quality of life absolutely sucked, I mean, when we look at our dogs going through this, when we look at our cats going through this, we take them to the vet and say, put them down, let them end their pain, their suffering. Why not us? Well, the argument or the whole debate, and I get it, that the Catholics and some other religious folks are totally opposed to this, that they think that God, via the process of disease, should decide when you die, not you. I get that. And I respect that. If you believe that God sent you a disease to kill you and you have to suffer to fulfill God's desire and wishes, and you want to suffer through to the end, go for it. I would never stop you. But here's where it gets weird or interesting. U.S. District Court yesterday here in Portland, a federal court, said that in Oregon, in order to apply for, assisted suicide, you have to be a resident. You have to live in the state. You have to establish residency in the state of Oregon. And that's true in all those other states as well. This federal judge said that's discriminatory. You can't do that, the residency requirement. And so now you've got people who are hysterically saying, and this was actually the National Right to Life, a spokeswoman for National Right to Life, warned that without a residency requirement, Oregon is going to become the nation's assisted suicide tourism capital. No, I don't think so. I mean, the law is still rigorous, even without the residency requirement. You still have to make a written request signed by 2 witnesses. You have to find 2 different doctors who agree with you. And in some cases, in many places, it's hard to even find such a doctor. One of the points that the article made is that in many parts of the country, or actually it was a piece in the Oregonian I read last night, that right across the river in Washington State in Vancouver, a lot of the hospitals are run by the Catholics.